Okay, that leaves us just a very few minutes, unfortunately, for questions, although in fact we've had very few from the audience in the chat. Let me use my position as chair to ask one question of Simon, which reading between the lines, I could make a guess as to whether you were suggesting the actual paintings were Timurid or Timurid, but I'd rather not read between the lines. I'd rather you tell us specifically what your opinion on the paintings is.
Thank you, Bernard. Well, I was, dreading for this question. So, I will say that the paintings, clearly the compositions are Timurid, because like you can't, with what I demonstrated, there is such a close relationship between the text and the image that it's basically the calligrapher who decided what to put in the image. Now, to me, I think there are Timurid, but there might have been some other paintings in the Timurid period under Baysunghur. And that is something I'm keeping for the book. The other thing is that I think there is a discrepancy, there is a chronological gap between the time the manuscript and the compositions, so the sketches, were completed, and the painting, so the coloring made in the Timurid period. So I think the copying and the sketches are way much earlier than what we've saw so far, so basically probably early reign of Sultan Ahmad, so like 1380s, and okay, the coloring would be 15 years later.
Oh, that's fascinating. I'm looking forward to the detailed discussion of this in the monograph. There was actually just one other question in the chat, which is to Shiva. Here's an interesting one for you. Are the sartorial choices of turbans versus hats of deliberate relevance to the chess versus backgammon debate?
Thank you, Bernard. This is so interesting. Yes, when you look at that particular scene, you see that young people with round faces, which represent Central Asian faces, they are busy with chess. And those Khorasani faces, which are shown with beard, and there is this wise man beside them, they are doing the backgammon, which I think it emphasizes that sort of the interest of the prince on backgammon and the role of fate, and wise men do not think that everything is controlled by the reason. That is my interpretation, but I'm not really sure.
Thank you very much. Aisha Newell-Tarr has a comment, but I think actually you addressed it in your paper where she talks about the simultaneous research by conservator at Harvard Art Museums on the Shamsi, but you, as you mentioned, you studied this earlier for the work on your thesis.
Absolutely.
So we don't actually have any more questions. We are finished exactly on time. So thank you very much. We take a 15-minute break here, I understand, and we shall see you all again shortly. Thank you, all of the panelists, for 3 wonderful, exciting papers. It's been a real privilege to have been the chair for these. Thank you.
Thank you.